Can you tell us something about the half-life of methane?
Well, in the atmosphere, it's less than 10 years. It's about 8 to 10 years. It gets oxidized and it turns into carbon dioxide and H2O. So molecule for molecule, methane is about 23 times as powerful a greenhouse gas as CO2. So it's most powerful when it's released into the atmosphere. Within 8 years, it gets turned into a molecule of methane, gets turned into a molecule of CO2. So its efficiency goes down to 1/20th of what it was. So essentially, it does its damage first. As soon as it's released, it's doing damage, and then it fades away. Whereas carbon dioxide is more cumulative. I mean, we release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. People used to say, well, it lasts 100 years, but now people are saying, well, it's actually sort of lasts hundreds of years, because if you trace a molecule of carbon dioxide through the Earth system, it's several hundred years before it actually disappears forever. It's in the atmosphere, it dissolves in the ocean, it comes out of the ocean, gets incorporated in plants, the plants die or are burned, and it gets back into the atmosphere. It cycles around. The only way it's actually gotten rid of completely is if it goes to make up the shells of marine organisms which sink to the ocean bed, that kind of thing. But CO2 is when you add it to the atmosphere, when you're driving around in a car and spewing it out, the stuff is going to be there for a long time. I mean, the climate change we're getting now is partly due to the emissions from people driving Model T Fords in the 1920s, that kind of thing. So whereas methane is much nastier in the short term, but it dissipates because it gets oxidized.
I'm now accepting